Mario Party is a famous franchise for two very important reasons. And lucky for us, both of them are listed in the title. Yep. The Mario Party franchise is special because it's meant to be a party, a social event where you can hang out and play with your friends, and then probably hurl some pretty gnarly insults at each other when it goes south. The usual. It's safe to say that this formula is a winner. There's an old saying that goes, "The proof is in the pudding," and buddy, they've been putting this franchise out for 27 years. But one Mario Party game fundamentally breaks its own rules, and focuses on the exact opposite of what a Mario Party is supposed to be. That's right, Mario Party Advance is a game that focuses on being single player? Single player? What the f is going on? That's not a party. That's just being apart. E from your friends. This game is the worst rated Mario Party game in history. And believe it or not, it's also the worst rated Mario game. Period. In order for us to understand why, I decided to become the sacrificial lamb and play through this entire game. And today, I would love to talk you through my awkward, janky, and incredibly tilting experience. So buckle up, because it is not a good one. Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by Opera GX. Most web browsers are built for everyone, which makes them generic as hell. I mean, think about it. Why would an epic gamer like me want to use the same browser that was built for me nan? It doesn't make any sense. Opera GX, on the other hand, is built for the user. Opera GX has its own built-in ad blocker, so you could swipe away all of those crazy ads and stay sharp like a knife. It comes with a VPN to protect your privacy and to access content from different regions without any extra software. And it's free! But most importantly for you aesthetic baddies out there, Opera GX has GX mods, which will elevate your browsing experience. Customize the look, the feel, the sound, and the vibe. Maybe normal typing sounds aren't for you, so you want to sound like a video game or a falling pipe. Your customization is only as limited as your imagination. And you got a big juicy brain, so I know there's no limits up there. Hell, you can even customize the splash screen. Maybe you're one of those people sitting there and thinking, scooch, but I don't want to put in all the effort to move all my stuff over from my janky and shitty old browser. Well, moving over to Opera GX is easier than ever before. You can simply just import all of your old settings into GX. And between you and me, Opera GX is compatible with every single Google Chrome extension. But don't tell anybody. Be sure to download Opera GX from my link in the description and start browsing the internet like a pro. One more huge shout out to Opera for sponsoring the video. You guys are awesome. Now let's get back into the video. The game starts off with a cutscene. Apparently, we're going to Party World, which is like a floating and magical sky island where you can party to your heart's content. A, that sounds awesome, and B, this is basically the lore from BioShock Infinite, minus all of the political turmoil, I hope. The first thing you have to do is make a passport. I spent a ton of time doing this, trying to make my character look as evil and soulless as possible, because I thought that would be funny in cutscenes. But spoiler alert, I never see this thing again. We're welcomed into Party World by a Toad, only for him to get stomped by Bowser and Koopa Kid. No, this isn't Bowser Jr. He is one of quite possibly thousands of babies Bowser has running around, ready to sacrifice when he sees fit. More on them later, but for now, Bowser's hefty ass stomps on Party World hard enough to send all of the mini-games and gadgets careening to the planet below, all over a place called Shroom City. And we're tasked with going to Shroom City to collect all of the stuff that Bowser knocked off of the superior and higher class Party World. I really hope this game doesn't get political. We meet Tumble, the guide of Shroom City, and while I do think he's a little cutie, I never really understood the point of him. Didn't Toad just explain everything? Why can't he do it? Wait, now that I think about it, he's probably in the hospital from that Bowser stomp earlier. C1 to C7 vertebrae turned to straight dust after that. You rest up, man. We choose Yoshi because I love his vibe. Then we jump into a cute car and off to Shroom City we go. Let's explain how navigating Shroom City works right now so that we can be confused at all the other stuff later. Shroom City basically functions as a giant single-player Mario Party board. Every single turn, you use a mushroom to roll a dice and move wherever you want to go. Rinse and repeat. Every 3 turns, you play a single-player minigame in which you have to accomplish a certain goal, and if you win, you get 3 more mushrooms. And finally, if you run out of mushrooms, you get a game over. More on that soon. What? So now that we understand movement, we can finally start to play the game. We get a notification that Booze lost something important at the cemetery, so we make our way over from the graveyard that we spawned in, Jesus, and finally see our first quest. We're introduced to Shroomlock, a recurring character in this game who's a detective, and then we talk to the Booze. Our precious Golden Boo statue is gone. Golden Boo statue? We keep it hidden in this cemetery. At least we used to. It's gone missing. I suspect it was stolen. You have to find it. Find our statue. It's a symbol of our true Boo friendship. That's right. We 3 Boos are best. Oh, whoa, hey! Wait, 3 Boos? 1, 2, there are 4 of us. When did we pick up a 4th? Call it a hunch, but one of you did it. Whoever took the statue is a phony Boo. Okay then, so who's the faker? Yoshi, would you help me find the fake? Sure. Great. Now just look at the Boos. See how they move and you'll spot the fake. This one's different. Hold on now. Wait. Hold on. The 3rd Boo is out of sync with the others, so we choose him, and surely enough, that wasn't a Boo at all. It was that darn Koopa kid playing his tricks again. The Boos thank us for helping, give us a gadget, and voila! We only have 49 quests left to go. Congratulations, you basically understand 90% of the gameplay loop. You head to a point of interest, roll the dice until you get there, play a single-player minigame every 3 turns, do whatever quest may be inside, win, and tick off another one of the 50. Simple enough. We head to our next point of interest and end up playing our first actual minigame, Melon Folly, where you just have to grab all of the fruit without falling and also get the melon last. It's simple, but I liked it, so 7 out of 10. We get to our second mission at the Ice Stadium where we meet Mr. Blizzard, Ace Pitcher. This quest is fun. You just have to hit a home run from his pitches, which is cool. I end up failing because the timing is a little weird, and he tells me that I don't deserve to get a gadget and boots me out. So we head outside, walk back in, and are forced to watch and read the entire cutscene again. Oh man, it's gonna be one of those games, huh? We managed to hit a home run this time and get our second W, and now we just need to do a measly 40... You've got 48 quests to go! Jesus Christ! Well, I hope you'll complete them all. Jeez! 48! Also, in case you were wondering, we have now been playing this game for 22 minutes. We head back to the board and roll to get another point of interest, and just like that, it was time for another minigame, Sled Slide. And it is a lot harder than it looks. Just watch this. Hop on a sled and race around the rink to win. Okay, accelerate A, brake B. That's easy. That's easy. Okay. Okay, all right. Oh, you can spin out so easily. Uh-oh. Oh, God. I'm there, though. I'm there. I made it. Oh, this isn't the end. This isn't the end. Oh, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. We lost. We lost. Oh, Yoshi's broken up about it. He thought he was going to be a bobsled champion. Poor guy, man. After losing, we end up not getting the 3 mushroom reward, but heading to our next building. This one is an ice game room, which is basically a casino where we meet a penguin that gambled away all of his money, so he can't afford to buy his girlfriend a wedding ring. He begs us to win his money back, and we hit our first casino gambling minigame. These are kind of interesting because you just need to win back more money than you started with. So in this pachinko one, one, this happens. Just gotta drop a coin. Woo! That's it. I win. What? What? Really? Okay. Okay. I'll give this minigame a 3 out of 10. I hate ice physics. The penguin is excited that he and Penguin can get married now. I love that. Some of the writing in this game is actually funny, and I'll talk about it when it happens. And with that, we're done with our third quest. We get a cutscene telling us that Bowser will let us do one of his 8 challenges now because we've completed a few quests. So we decide to start heading there. But get this. Since we failed the ice sled minigame and never got the 3 bonus mushrooms, we run out of rolls and get our first game over. And these are so strange. When you get a game over, you get a cutscene that tells you game over, a results screen which lets you know what you've done and unlocked, then a menu that allows you to either restart the game, choose a new character, or go back to the main menu. And when you go back into the game, you start off at your character's starting location. Yoshi's being that graveyard for some reason. And basically, you just continue where you left off. So what's the point of a game over? You don't lose anything, you just get stuck in cutscenes and sent back to your starting square. It's such a uniquely weird way to waste your time. My head hurts thinking about it too much, so let's move on. We start our walk to Bowser to do whatever challenge he unlocked, and on our way we land on an M square. These squares can do one of 2 things. Either they spawn Tumble, which lets you play a minigame for 2 mushrooms, or they spawn a Koopa Kid, who lets you play a minigame for 1 mushroom, but in this case, if you lose, he takes a mushroom from you. Now, I know what you're thinking. If every 3 turns you have to play a minigame for a chance to win 3 mushrooms anyway, then isn't landing on these a waste of time since you're only getting 1 or 2 mushrooms in return? Yeah. Kind of. We play Barrel Peril, which is actually really cute. You have to sneak past chain chomps, and if they attack you, you press a button to hide in a barrel, which is like Squid Game's level of cruel, but hilarious. I'll give this minigame a 7, and on a positive note, I do want to say, the sprite work in this game is immaculate. Like, it is so beautiful to look at so many of these games. Now, this next part makes me laugh. We win our battle against Koopa Kid, which gives us a mushroom. Then we roll a 1 and land on a minus space, which takes the mushroom away, effectively negating everything that I just did. We make it to Bowser's Keep and enter the open blue pipe to do his challenge. And with that turn over, we play a minigame called Broom Zoom. I enjoyed this minigame a lot, so I'll say 7.5. I don't know, it's fun. We head into the Bowser challenge, and this one takes place in Bowser Stadium, where we have to compete against Bowser in a sport to win the challenge. And that sport is soccer. You have 5 kicks on the goal. Score 3 points and I'll let you win. Kick with the A button, got it? Ready, shoot. Go, Mr. Bowser, sir. Stop calling him Mr., that's your dad, bro. Can you get 3 goals past me? What the hell? All right, shoot wherever you want. Dude, he's as big as the net. Huh? Wahaha. You'll need speed to get past me. What's going on here? Okay, you gotta go between his legs. Not bad. Is the whole bit to go between his legs? Ah! Oh! Ah, no, impossible! With Bowser straight up styled on, he tells us we have to play one more game. A game of Splatterball, where we have to shoot 47 Koopa Kids before the time runs out. Where's he getting all these kids? You just had 47 Koopa Kids ready to be drafted like that? Okay, that sounds awful. We air that out, and Bowser gives us a gadget, which means we completed yet another quest. Only 46 left to go. We leave to inspect our next point of interest on the map and see a piranha plant, but there's nothing we can do here, so we leave. Then it was time for our next minigame. Sea Monkey, where you have to drive around a track and save monkeys from drowning, which is kind of dark. What if I wasn't here in time? That minigame was eerily similar to the sled one, so I'll give it a 5. There's a point of interest that's just a hammer on the floor, but I pick it up and nothing happens, so there goes my turn, I guess. Then we head to a stadium and see a Bullet Bill that wants to race, and he's kinda cocky. We race him by mashing the A button, and he realizes after losing that he needed the slice of humble pie. Oh, okay, that's nice. And thus, it's time to head back into the map for another single-player minigame. This one is called Bill Bounce, and it's actually really fun. It's basically just that thing you do in Mario games where you try to keep jumping on enemy heads in order to get a 1-up, except here you get more and more points based on your streak. I give it an 8. It's a very fun idea. We head next door to the mushroom field where I see a hammer bro practicing his hammer toss, so I challenge him to a contest and win 2 things. 1, the gadget, and 2, the knowledge of what I was supposed to do with that hammer earlier. It's like Slumdog Millionaire in this bitch. We head upwards on the map and hit a point of interest that has a pokey in it. This guy is apparently famous for his riddles. Obviously, this game is meant to be played by all ages, so these are basically just dumb baby questions which reference Mario characters. What's green and related to red? Luigi, I guess? I don't know, Christmas? With that quest done, it's time for another map minigame. At this point, I just want to say that I'm still having a lot of fun, and I'm pretty excited just to see what other minigames are in store. This one is called Floor It, which is one of my favorites. Come on in, come in. Come on in, guys. Hey, it never... All right, you guys get out. Get the hell out of here, man. All right, that's 2. You guys are good? You guys get out. You guys come in. Get in here. Putting you guys over here. Taking the Goomba top floor. Letting the Boo in. Oh, the Goomba had to leave here, too. That's sick. And that's where the Boo gotta go. Damn, I'm getting lucky here, I'll be honest. Actually, Boo, get over here. Boo, you can leave. And then I'm gonna take the Koopa. Oop. Don't worry, guys. Oh, I won. Oh. That was a fun minigame. It's simple, but it's cute, and I really love the overall aesthetic, so I'll give it a 9. We head back to the hammer now that we know how to throw it. Take me to a different... And here's where we hit our first major hurdle. And I want to dive into this real quick because I need to know if I'm just stupid or if the game did a horrible job at explaining this. We meet someone named the Game Master who makes us play a minigame called Pair 'em. The rules are flip a card and place it. Identical pairs disappear. Get rid of all the cards. And here's what it looks like. The minigame lets you place your bet on the left side. And on this weird board right here, you could draw cards from the middle and place them in the slots around it. You basically just keep drawing and placing down cards on the mat, clearing whatever pairs you can, but when the deck runs out, you don't make any money. Pairing cards doesn't make any money, so what the hell is going on? I get stuck here for 30 minutes between the attempts, the talking to the game mage again, and the length of the game itself. I got a game over, which forced me to walk all the way back. And finally, I got my W by betting my money on clouds, which are the most common card in the deck, and playing normally. It turns out that you get paid out if you can manage to eliminate every single type of the specific card you bet on, which is actually just luck. Because when you place a card down and can't find its pair in time, your spots fill and you lose. Sometimes you can also draw a card that's just a question mark and you don't know what that's gonna be until you place it. So if it happens to be something you cannot eliminate, you fill up a spot and lose anyway. I know this is recency bias, but this is probably the worst Mario Party minigame I have played in my life, so I'll give it a -3 out of 10. With that done, we finish our 8th quest, and can finally go do something more fun, like peeling my fingernails off or sitting in an open fire. We play another minigame on the map named Koopa Crunch, which is an incredibly basic match 3 minigame where you just match blocks until you hit the score you need, and in order to get rid of the green shells, you have to wait for a red shell to spawn to knock them all out. I've never been a fan of match 3 games, and this one is just worse than the actual ones I've played. But if I can give you a super mega stupid meta reason that I hate it, it's because it's not timed. Failure here is reaching the top of the screen on the slowest Puyo Pop clone you've ever played. So playing this minigame takes like 3 to 5 minutes. 1 out of 10. We head to our next point of interest, which is Pedal Guy, and this was the moment that we realized that we are in for a rude awakening. His mission is that he's in love with a woman that looks like a butterfly and a blossom, and you have to deliver a love letter to that person. I take the letter and decide to just go to another point of interest at random, where we run into Hoot, an owl who's in gambling debt and needs our help. But get this, in order to do literally anything else, you have to abandon your current quest, aka get rid of the letter that I just got from Pedal Guy and talk to him all over again if I want to do this quest line. Frustrated at this, I decided to use the power of Google to find out who the Pedal Guy is in love with, and get this, he's in love with Flutter, a character who lives on the complete opposite side of the map in a building which has 4 floors in it. The act of just walking there took 7 minutes, and this is on the back of incredible dice rolls and landing on green squares which allow you a bonus dice roll as well. And checking every single floor takes its own turn, which is ridiculous, man. In the video game, where your movement is slower than molasses going uphill, we will be tasked with fetch quests. It's brutal. There are 2 minigames that we played on our endeavor. One of them is on the spot, where you have to massage a womp's back by doing the specific combination it tells you. It's cute and funny, so 6 out of 10. The other is Ba-Boom, where you have to blast Bowser statues beneath you by timing your bomb drops. Another cute minigame that utilizes a Mario mechanic. 6 out of 10. We get to Flutter's house and she's totally not into Pedal Guy, which pisses me off because he's beautiful. Spoiler alert, this actually changes the trajectory of his life. I'm not kidding. You'll see later. Also, Pedal Guy shows up to confess in person, and it's like, you could have brought the letter yourself, bro. Maybe it's good that she broke your heart. With that complete, we finished our 9th quest and almost hit the 1/5 mark of the game. We head to the rooftop of the condo because why the hell not? And we're introduced to Mr. E. I am Mr. E, seeker of mysteries. Care to join me on a mystery? I'll join you on a mystery, Mr. E. Oh, 'cause Mr. E! There's rumors of a UFO being around, and the fly guy basically says, yeah, man, I could summon that for you, which is funny. So we play a game where we have to follow his hand positioning, and it's actually kind of hard. I end up losing, so I decided to check another floor and meet the Kamek crew, a crew of Kamek rappers that need a stadium for their sick performance. They say that there might be one in the desert, and using the power of my big juicy brain memory, I remember that Bullet Bill had a stadium that we raced in, so we have to walk all the way back there. At least there's more minigames to review. Bunny Belt is just pressing a button combination 10 times to make 10 toys. It's the same combination the entire time, so it's actually kind of boring. 2 out of 10. Shell Stack is like the Bullet Bill minigame, but you're stationary and jumping on turtle shells. Fortunately, you only have to hit 10. Significantly less fun than the other one though, so 6 out of 10. And finally, Forest Jump. This is the rarest minigame for some reason. In our entire run, we quite literally only saw this game a single time, which is crazy. You have to dodge wind-blown logs to not get knocked off of a platform. but also the wind changes directions to psych you out. It's actually really cool, and I'd rate it pretty high if the controls didn't feel so slippery. So, 6.5 out of 10. We talked to Bullet Bill, and he is actually a fan of the Koopa crew and agrees to let them use his stadium, which is wholesome, and thus another fetch quest is down the drain. So we head to our next point of interest, and this happens. Oh, hey, I'm a Kiki. Anyways, I need help. Listen, you can only accept one quest at a time. Huh? I gotta go all the way back to the other place. Oh, dear goodness. You actually have to go all the way back and tell the Kamek crew that they can use the stadium, which means more backtracking. There's a pretty big reveal that's coming up soon about the minigames we're playing, but for now, let's review the next one, Amplified, where you have to dodge lasers on the floor. 3 out of 10, not that fun and kind of slow. We keep walking, and this time we hit a special mushroom challenge, meaning if I win here, I get 6 mushrooms instead of 3. Whoa. This minigame is Flippin' Out, where you have to swing on pegs to get to the end of the map. I don't know if I got lucky or if it's just super easy, but the end seems to be like 10 seconds away from the beginning. 4 out of 10, I'd rate it lower, but I like seeing Yoshi backflip. As we slowly make our way back to the Kamek crew, I'd like to say that I don't really understand the point of winning 6 shrooms, or even the point of landing on M squares to win bonus shrooms in minigames. It's not like you can use them for anything, and you don't have the choice to skip the third turn minigame either. So realistically, doing anything to get more shrooms is kind of a waste of time. Well, I guess it gives you a safety net for failing a minigame or two, but most of these are pretty easy. We tell the Kamek crew and they hit me with a hey thanks, and thus we finish our 10th quest, which unlocks our second Bowser challenge. But realizing how brutal it would be to walk back to Bowser every single time to do his challenges, I decide to just save all of the Bowser battles for the end of the game, so I can clear out all the areas as I get to them. We check the last floor of the apartment and meet a dude named Mushbert. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Mushbert. That's the dorkiest guy I've ever seen. Jeez Louise, bro. And he doesn't have anything for us, so turn wasted. And it's time for more minigame reviews. Yay! Stompbot XL is just racing to the end of an obstacle course on a tank. The timing on this one is actually kind of brutal. I made one mistake and got murdered. Huh? I didn't win? Then we hit the rooftop again to try the UFO minigame, since I was still near the location. We did it! The UFO saw our signal! Wow, I did it! Actually! Oh, horrifying. It's an actual UFO? My goodness. I thought it was like a bait. I thought we were getting snake oiled here. That's a real, honest-to-God UFO. With that quest completed, we head back into the mushroom condo to see if there's anything left to be done, and it turns out that now Flutter wants us to deliver a love letter. After breaking the heart of our dearest petal guy? The hell is wrong with you, Flutter? She says that she's fallen deeply in love with someone and needs us to tell him, saying, and I quote, "I love guys with big, deep blue eyes." Do you want to know who she's talking about? She's talking about the spooky eyeball from Mario 64. And you're choosing it over Petal Guy? My God. We head to Mr. Eye's house and play our next minigame, Grab It, which is just the MIPS section from Mario 64, except you have to catch 7 rabbits now. 1 out of 10, it's frustrating as hell. We tell Mr. Eye about Flutter's crush, and he says, "I hardly know her, so it's a little weird. It wouldn't be right to lead her on. Besides, I have my eye on someone else." You know what? Mr. Eye seems like a good guy. We have to walk back to Flutter for this one and play a minigame called Big Popper, R.I.P. Biggie. All you have to do is blow bubbles into a spike ball in the middle of the screen. It's satisfying, but it's pretty basic, so I'll give it a 6. Then we tell Flutter that her confession bombed, and she cries and says it's better to have loved and lost. He didn't love you, girl. The next minigame is called Switchway? This one is just a maze where you have to hit blocks or ground pound them to make them either go vertical or horizontal. It's not that hard to solve, and it's not really that fun either because there's like no stakes. So I'll say 2 out of 10. Our next point of interest is a Chain Chomp who wants to duel in a duel minigame. These are the minigames that are meant to be played with friends via a GBA link. And I gotta make fun of myself here real quick. In this minigame, you have to saw a chain so that a thwomp smashes your opponent. And I keep getting tired out and confused. And it turns out in the 2-sentence instructions for this game, it literally tells you that you will tire yourself out. And I somehow missed it. Still, we win and defeat the Chain Chomp, meaning we only have 37 quests to go. We're gonna start moving faster really soon. I'm just waiting for our big reveal. I promise it's hilarious. Just give it a second. We talk to a Goomba, and his quest is to get him a ticket from the train station, which is literally right next door. And I want to complain, but this is so much better than having to walk across the map. So thank God this Goomba is lazy. With that very fast quest defeated, we move towards wherever is the most efficient and run into quite possibly the most tilting mechanic in the entire game. Sometimes you can just run into Koopa Kid on the map randomly. You don't have to stop anywhere or anything, he'll just spawn while you walk. And if you do, he can just warp you to a different part of the map. Uh-oh. What just, no! No! Which basically means you'll have to walk all the way back to where you were going. I'm sure this mechanic isn't going to make me peel my skin right off. We stop by some vending machines that are only selling coal for some reason, and now is the time for our big reveal. We get the minigame Sea Monkey again, the one where we have to rescue drowning monkeys from earlier, and we come to a pretty horrifying realization. If we just play the footage of them side by side, you'll see that these minigames aren't randomized at all. They are the exact same minigame every single time. Fundamentally speaking, this turns the minigames from something that is exciting and refreshing into basically a chore. Imagine having to solve the same crossword puzzle every 5 minutes, or walk through the same maze. It is no longer about figuring it out, it is now about just getting there as fast as you can. And that makes me want to knock down the scores of every minigame down by like 5 points. We head to the train station to see what the station master wants, and he says we need to buy him coal, which is sold at the vending machines from earlier. We were lucky to walk past them because he didn't really tell us where to look, so I'm glad it worked out. The next quest is an amp crying about losing everything at a casino, and this is so bad. He tells us that he's on a massive losing streak and just needs you to win a casino game to inspire him to keep gambling. This is like the worst lesson ever. This quest minigame is just a slot machine, purely luck, 0 out of 10. Once we win, he says, "Thank you, my luck is about to change. You got me out of my bad streak." And brother, no, don't do it. We go next door to the other casino, and Monty Mole is literally going through the exact same thing. As I'm sure you've surmised by now, all of the casino minigames are basically just dumb luck. Still, this one is a scratcher, which I find cute, so I'll give it a 5.5, ranking it higher than the others. Now, in case the crippling debt and looming party city in the sky wasn't enough, we find out that there's a gang of babombs that run Shroom City. In order to get the gang member to talk to me, I have to buy a babomb figure from the junk shop, which has a secret password. The password, of course, is baboom, not to be confused with baboon, or for the Italian players, bada bing. We have a couple of mini games to review here because the walk took forever. Fling shot is just launching yourself off of a slingshot and trying to fly past a certain distance. I failed it here, but learned later that it is completely dependent on how hard you mash in the beginning. Hell, if you mash hard enough, you don't even have to maneuver yourself in the air. So 2 out of 10. Sort Stack is about organizing books on a bookshelf by color. Incredibly basic, but I had a lot of fun here for some reason. Not smart enough to tell you why, I just did. So 7 out of 10. And Real Cheap is a fishing minigame where you have to catch a cheap that's heavy enough to beat the score on the scale. You just move the bobber over to a shadow, then press a combination of L and R. Every single time I've played this game, which is a lot, it's always been the first cheap. 4 out of 10. Lastly, Spooky Spike is where you just have to choose the direction the boo is spiking the ball. 3 out of 10. The Babomb tells us that his boss lives on the lowest floor of the mushroom condo, which is where Mushbert lives. Is there something about Mushbert we don't know? Then we go to Thwomp's house, who tells us he was apparently just robbed for 40 coins. He tells us that while he was out, someone broke in and stole his money. But through some investigation, we found out that he was bigger than his door, meaning there's no possible way that he could have left. He breaks into tears and admits that he's just lonely and called the police so that someone would come and be his friend. And Toadlock agrees to do so, but still, that's actually really sad. We win the quest minigame and head to our next adventure and land on yet another new minigame, Go Go Pogo, where you have to pogo stick to the end of a course while dodging piranha plants. If you get hit once on this one, you lose, which is kind of punishing the first time, but it doesn't randomize, so when you win once, you basically win forever. I lose this one though, so I ended up getting a game over, which means starting all the way back in the graveyard. I do want to mention that every character has their own starting point, but I kept choosing Yoshi because I like his vibe. We head to a bank that was robbed, which is basically the same storyline as the Thwomp one we just did, except the fun part here is that we have to interrogate 3 different suspects, and they all live in different parts of the map. So we do a bunch of walking and play a new minigame called Dreadmill, which is just running to the end of a moving sidewalk covered in spikes, and both the sidewalks alternate their directions. It's kind of like the gimmick a lot of Mario Kart stages do, only not fun or good. 2 out of 10. Anyways, the thief turns out to be Paratroopa, and his motivation was that he was just playing a prank on his friend, which, alright. We get a minigame called Cloud Climb, which is realistically like a 4 out of 10. Not that fun because it's just a lamer doodle jump, but learning the systems in place for this game and trying to beat it, this game becomes a 10 out of 10. Because it genuinely only takes a couple of seconds to win when you take the right path. Whoa, did you hear that? It's time for a speed round where I start explaining things way faster because they're not interesting enough to linger on. Goombob wants us to get a seashell so that he can give it to Goom Betty, and that seashell is almost as far away as it can be, which means 10 more minutes of straight up walking and nothing else. We hit 3 new minigames on our journey. Boo Bye, where you have to run away from boos and walk by color-coded paintings in order to defeat them. Pretty boring, 3 out of 10. Out of My Way, where you just have to walk to the right and push womps out of your way by mashing buttons, also a 3 out of 10. And Chomp Walker, where you just have to tug a chain chomp to a finish line and not get hit by him when he charges at you. That's a 1 out of 10. I hate this one, I'll be honest. Congratulations, my dear viewer, you have now seen all of the board games that you can land on in Shroom City. And knowing that the majority of them do not randomize and in turn are the exact same game again and again, please understand that I'm going to be talking about the map a lot less, because it is just a chore. Goombob gives Goom Betty the seashell we went on a From Software ass quest for, it's a hard sentence, and she agrees to date him, which is cute. Then on our way to the mushroom condo, Koopa Kid warps me like 9 spaces away, which is just inconvenient. We go to the mushroom condo and learn that we can click on the white space under the first floor, and thus we meet Big Babomb. I know what you're thinking, isn't that just King Babomb? He has the crown on and everything. And honestly, I don't know why he's named Big Babomb. I guess this was before he was wed into the royal family. Big Babomb makes you roll a dice block against him in a best of 5. Yet another pure luck RNG game. I want to clarify that you can technically beat this game in whatever order you want, and I think that in some sheer twist of bad luck, I chose quite possibly the worst order possible, because like 80% of the quests I have left are purely fetch quests. We meet Babamba, a female Babam that wants me to pick her a flower, and the flower she wants is a gigantic piranha plant all the way in the desert. If I could just be candid for a second here. Girl, is you out your goddamn mind? This endeavor takes me 12 minutes, and I'll admit that I was starting to get really upset because just look at this. All right. Jeez Louise, man. Are you joking? What is going on? Is this a joke? We head to the haunted condo in Horrorland, and this place has a bunch of floors too. We go to a basement where lantern ghosts meet up to share their love for a show called Toad Force 5, and we're gonna be hearing a lot about this show. They make me head to the junk store to buy a Toad Force 5 figure and are happy when I bring it back for them, which counts as a quest done. Then on the next floor, there's a ninja who wants a Toad Force 5 limited edition DVD, which you have to pick up all the way back in the mushroom condo from Mushbert. And there's a joke here that actually made me laugh. We go to Mushbert and ask if we can have the limited edition DVD, and he says that he's a true fan of the show and we can just have a copy of the DVD because he owns 50 of them. So when we get back to Ninja, he says this. Here you go, buddy. Oh, it's the limited edition DVD. Did you know they only made 50 total? With that quest completed, we officially hit the halfway mark. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there isn't really much to talk about in the final half, because almost everything I have left to do is a fetch quest, and most of them aren't funny. So instead, I'm gonna tell you about 3 more places. The cutest quest in the game, the Dual Tower, and finally, the Bowser challenges. So let's start with the cutest quest in the game. There's a dolphin that wants to be a comedian but is insecure about his jokes, so you have to listen to his comedy routine and laugh at the right times to make him think that you're sincere and not overselling. Yoshi even has a little laughing animation for this, and you slowly see more dolphins spawn and start cheering him on. It is so cute, my god. Unrelated, but I don't know where to put this. There's a duel minigame where you just have to throw hammers at each other. And honestly, this should be a sport in real life. I think we should all get into this. You guys play a few rounds without me and I'll be right there. Dual Tower is just 3 duel minigames in quick succession. The first one is to climb stairs by mashing the A button. The next one is playing volleyball with a literal bomb, which is actually funnier than the hammer game. And the last one is to wait under a thwomp until the last possible second and flee. I actually get cooked here multiple times, but then one time the CPU just breaks and leaves instantly, which makes me the winner since I left last. Now, all we had to do was beat the 8 remaining Bowser challenges, which all have their own cute little themes. The first one we do is an ice area where we have to tell jokes in order to warm Bowser up. When we succeed, he puts us in one of those super weird mini games where we have to just kill enough of his kids. No, seriously, you ride around a giant spinning top with spikes on it and run over all the Koopa kids. Where is he getting all these damn kids? The next challenge takes place in a laboratory where he asks if you'd rather face his scary monster or his very scary monster. And if you choose very scary, a group of Huffin' Puffins walk by as a joke, and he tells you you have to load the cutscene again. Choosing the correct answer makes you face his naval piranha, which challenges you to a duel, which I figured would be kaiju themed. But you want to know what the duel is? Curling! Yeah, that was easy to guess, right? The next challenge takes place in a hideout. This challenge is guessing whether the next card drawn is higher or lower than the last last card. Then a Kill the Koopa Kids challenge happens where you have to cap them on a conveyor belt, and it's super slow. We're almost done with the game and things were going a little bit too well. So for the next Bowser challenge, which takes place in a bachelor pad by the way, and now we know how he got all those kids, you have to physically walk all the way to the junk store and buy him a ring. At least in this Koopa Kid challenge, you don't have to kill them. You just have to sneak past them, which isn't as bad. Then we head to Bowser's toy shop. Here you have to answer questions about Toad Force 5, then face him in a duel minigame where you have to react quickly and either hit him with a hammer or defend yourself as the hammer bounces off of you. It's actually so fun. We head to Challenge 7, Bowser's Mansion. This is a Toadlock detective episode where you have to interrogate Bowser and see if you can find out where he put a stolen painting. He basically says, "I've never seen that painting in my life. Besides, there's no way a painting like that would fit behind my clock." And Toadlock goes, "How would you know it won't fit if you've never seen the painting?" Gasp! This Koopa Kid minigame is hitting them with hammers as they try to grab your mushrooms. And can we just leave the kids alone, please? They seem so tired. Finally, for our last pipe challenge, we head into the Bowser Game Hall, where you just have to play a cup shuffling minigame and choose the pipe that Koopa is in, which is so climactic. With the pipes done, Bowser drops the gate and challenges you to his final boss fight for real. This one is titled Final Showdown, so you know it's actually the end. If you're expecting some insane, well-made, fun, and elaborate minigame, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you know what game this is. All you have to do is drop the Koopa Kids through the bottom by pressing L and R. I won this game, and I still can't even tell you what I did right. I just mashed the buttons. Once you win, Bowser laughs and says, "I lost, but I'm glad we fought to the very end. Let's battle again someday. You beat me, for now." And it's like, no, Bowser, we gotta put your ass in prison. You don't get a cute moment here, what the hell? Toadlock, get the cuffs. We get to the end credits, which confirms that Yoshi beat the final quest. And with that, we're done with this horribly long experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this super long and way too up-close look at the worst reviewed Mario game of all time. Here's a video that YouTube thinks you'll like, so you should click on it. It'll be fun. I promise. That's all I gotta say. Please subscribe if you haven't. Love ya. Also, remember when I said that the rejection changed Pedal Guy's life? Well, he quit poetry and took up carpentry. What the hell, Flutter?